don't have a ton in the way of agenda items, and I think we're going to be a little bit sparse this week. But if anybody has agenda items they would like to bring up, please add them to the HackMD. I'll post out a link. Oh, actually, there's a better link, in fact. Oh, that'll work. Well, let's, how about we get started at 5 after? Does that work?
Sorry, when?
5 minutes after the hour.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Salish. That is a great picture. I love it.
So
All right. I'll say this again for folks who have just joined, but we only have one discussion item. If you have discussion items, please add them, and they will be visited during the meeting. Okay. We're at 5 after, so let's get started. Like I said, we're going to be a little bit light today, considering that so many people are at KubeCon and Cloud Native Rejects, actually, right before KubeCon. So without further ado, would anybody like to chair the meeting? Anybody want to give it a go? I'm happy to do so if nobody would prefer. Okay. Let's see. Who would like to be the scribe? Anybody volunteer for note taking? Okay, Jorge, you are first. You get the honorable title, noble title of scribe.
Amazing.
All right. Okay, everybody. Hello, I am David Justice. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to the Hyperlight community meeting. Today is November 12th, 2025. We're getting close to the end of the year, and this is the week of KubeCon, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Today, we are a CNCF project, and that means during these meetings, we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, and that means generally be kind to each other, raise your hands, you will be recognized, and you'll have your time to speak. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and let's get started. Let's see. I don't see any major announcements. Any announcements from the group?
I think the only announcement would be that the Hyperlight's new release 0.11 was made. We're working towards Hyperlight WASM release also this week. And I think that's it.
Anything notable that you want to talk about in the 0.11 release?
Let me check the release notes. I know the thing that I worked on is the support for tracing with OpenTelemetry, also guest tracing support with OpenTelemetry. And I think some improvements were added towards, I think, a new poison state for the Hyperlight sandbox has been added to signal that something gone wrong with the sandbox while executing. Let me see what else.
While you're thinking a little bit more on the poison state. So this is, say you had a panic within the sandbox and you're not sure of the memory state of that sandbox at that point. So you may want to have a signal to recycle that sandbox, restore it to a previous good known state.
Yeah, thank you, David, for adding this. Also, support for memory mapped memory in crash dumps and guest debugging was added. And crash dump on demand support. So if you want, for example, if you have multiple sandboxes running at the same time and you've got a bug and you can't find it, you can on demand request those crash dumps and not wait for something too bad to happen for them to be generated. And some two other things notable to say are we removed seccomp and MSHV2 support from Hyperlight.
Thank you so much, Doro. Jorge, you had your hand raised for some time there and you weren't recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the seccomp support that has been removed, but Doro did it.
Yeah, sorry, haven't seen your hands up.
Awesome. All right, great. So let's see, any other announcements? Okay, then I move that we move to discussion items. The first one on the list is the only one actually right now. So Danilo and Pedro Inique, they gave a talk at Cloud Native Rejects recently, and I believe that was on Sunday, if I'm correct, in Atlanta, Georgia, as a prequel to KubeCon North America in Atlanta. The talk's title is VM Class Secure Microsecond Fast Cloud Native Apps. And the link there should give you a deep link into where the talk starts. And they go through a really cool use case of running Python within Hyperlight using a microkernel called Nanvix. And they show off executing code, Python, for this example within Hyperlight. The project is also available online, and I'll drop a link to it. I'll throw a link into the doc as well. So if you want to mess around with the source code, it should be relatively easy to get started. So a lot of stars. Okay. Give it a look. Kick the tires if you like. Play around and see if you can break stuff. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully you all had a lot of fun with it, and I hope folks learned something from the talk. I think it's a really good one. All right. Well, that was the only discussion item. Anybody have any questions on that? All right. Oh, Jorge, you have our hand.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a discussion item. I think it's more like an announcement. But we also brought into the Hyperlight dev a package called Cargo Hyperlight that helps with building Hyperlight guests. So far, certain type of Hyperlight guests, building them has been a little bit difficult, especially if you have C dependencies and you use CC. So we created this package called Cargo Hyperlight, which is a cargo subcommand, and you can, if you have a Hyperlight guest, you do cargo Hyperlight build, and it takes care of setting up all the environment. So for instance, you don't have to set up the target. It takes care of doing that for you. And also it makes sure that if you're using CCRS or BindGen, all the things are set up correctly, so that you have a easier time building things. Also, if you're running Clippy in your project, that also needs special setup for Hyperlight. So it also, you can do cargo Hyperlight Clippy. Yeah, it basically calls cargo with the right set of environment variables, and it runs also a pre-step before calling cargo to make sure that you have all the dependencies set up, so you have the right target. And yeah, so if you have been struggling to build Hyperlight targets, Hyperlight guests, give it a try. You can do cargo install cargo Hyperlight, and it should work.
Awesome. Thank you, Jorge. Can you drop a link to Cargo Hyperlight? Or, yeah. Awesome. Any questions on that? All right. Okay. How about we, unless we have another item that isn't there yet? Toro?
I have one thing to add. So last time, 2 weeks ago, I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but I understand that it was mentioned that people would like a demo with debugging. At least that's what I understand from the chat. And I didn't have time to do it this week, but I want to set something up for next time, 2 weeks from now. And maybe people can attend and see what we can do with debugging.
I have to say, it looks very popular.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. We look forward to that, Dora. Yeah, that would be a great thing to get out and help people. Cool.
When are you planning to do it? Sorry, I missed that.
2 weeks from now, it's the 26th.
That is going to be a relatively sparse day.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving in the US, right?
Indeed.
I didn't.
However, we only have one US person here today, I think. Is that accurate? Or two, pardon. At least.
I didn't get the question. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. Excellent. Looking forward to it. However, I may not attend. I will watch the video to catch up.
I can redo it on the 10th of December if more people are in. It's no worries.
That's what the videos are for, right? So that people can catch up afterwards. So you're giving a show for posterity, not just for that day. So
okay,
it's awesome. Yes.
Thanks.
Excellent. Okay. How about we open the floor to Q&A or general questions or engineering discussion? Awesome. Anybody have engineering questions that they want to bring up? Suresh, I can see you unmuted. Is there something you wanted to bring up?
No, it's okay.
Okay, fantastic. Anybody want to talk about some of the work that we have in the queue that's landing soon? If not, I'm happy to bring up a couple things. Okay, so soon we look to have count memory PR opened. So copy on write semantics for the guest. The benefit of this is faster, hopefully faster startup time in that we don't need to copy as many bits into the guest as we may have in other situations. So for example, if you have a large binary or you have a large data blob to copy into the guest, we make perhaps several copies of it along the way before it actually lands into the guest, and um, is a significant amount of memory overhead if you have multiple instances of guests, right? So if you have that same guest, multiple instances of it, you're going to have that memory copied multiple times. So one of the nice features that Lucy Menon on the team has been working on is copy on write semantics. So copy it, but don't write the bits unless they're written. So um, this would make startup hopefully faster. It will allow us to have a smaller memory footprint. So for each function, you don't get the multiplicity of that large data blob. So that should be really helpful. And oddly enough, news to me as I was talking with her today. Unfortunately, she's not able to make it here today, but she is also very close to having the beginnings of ARM support completed. So that is super exciting because a lot of the page table manipulations that she had to do, she also had worked on some very similar stuff in the past with ARM and has something pretty close. So we're excited, and hopefully everybody else in the community is excited because we think ARM is great, and we'd love to support that architecture. That also opens up the opportunity when we can support ARM to expand the dev profile over to OS X. So we could get Darwin Apple support, Mac OS support for executing Hyperlight sandboxes. There's going to be some complications there just based on how hypervisor framework works and the requirements behind I think it's one hypervisor instance or two hypervisor instances or something like that per process. So we'll have some work to do to think out how to make it useful. But the big first hurdle is supporting ARM chips generally. So that's exciting. Anybody else excited for any stuff coming on down the pipe? Anybody working on anything they're excited about?
I've got a draft PR out for making all the sandboxes dump if the host process looks like it's going to create a crash dump. If anyone fancies taking a look at that and giving feedback, because it's more or less done. It just needs polishing a little bit. Basically, the thought process is that a host could optionally choose to capture the state of all the sandboxes that it owns if it crashes. So it's sort of an extension of the work that Doru did. I really didn't do a lot of work to make it work. So yeah, if anyone wants to take a look at that, that'd be useful.
Flash, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I would like to support that macOS thing because I face a lot of problems.
Are you developing mostly on a Mac?
Yes.
How do you get around? What does your dev setup look like for working on Hyperlight?
I I work on Mac and then I have a I have a spare old machine to which I SSH and then download the code there and compile it on Intel. And then I test like this. So there are a lot of to and fro, commit the code and download it there. So if it comes on macOS, that would be best.
I feel your pain. Yeah, it's we often spin up Azure images and VMs and then use those and remote into those to do the development work. Yeah, it's not the most convenient, but for really big compilations, it's really nice to have a lot of processors around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So we really want to improve that developer experience. I personally would love to, say, cargo build, and it builds on my OS X machine as well. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I wanted to mention I have an open PR to improve the quality of life on writing Hyperlight guests. Currently, there's a lot of repeated semantics that we do all the time because of how Hyperlight guests work. And every time we write a guest, we come up with different solutions for the same problem to avoid the repetition. So I have an open PR that's been there for a while, but I need to rebase it and give it some love, and hopefully we can land it, providing some some of the goodies that we have on the host side, bringing them to the guest side as well for all registering functions and things like that, and calling host functions.
All right. Anything else?
I can share my update as well. So I've been working on refactoring the integration tests based on an issue that Ludwig had created. No questions so far. I get the core gist of the functionality, and right now just making incremental progress. Thanks.
Awesome, Vinny. If you do need anything, please ping one of us. Happy to help. All right. Calling out. Jorge.
Since we have Ludwig here, I wonder if he would like to share some of the changes to how the hypervisors work. He has, I know, an open PR for that, and it looks amazing and removing a lot of code duplication.
For whatever
If you
reason, we
don't,
can't hear you, Ludwig. It looks like you've unmuted, but for whatever reason, maybe there's a physical mute. I know he's present, unless he has some AI driving his reactions. Perhaps it's technical difficulties day. No worries, man.
If you want, I can do a summary until Ludwig figures out the technical issues or not. So the idea is that across all the different hypervisors, there's a lot of code duplication. And the final goal, yeah, sorry, I put Ludwig on the spot, so it came back. The idea is that removing a lot of that duplication by creating a trait for the different hypervisors and unifying all the shared behavior. So that looks super cool. It reduces like I think by 1,000 lines of code, the code base. So that's amazing. And also, like if there's a bug in one of them, we can fix it once instead of having to go and fix it 3 times. And if we add Mac support a 4th time, so I think that's really good. The only thing is that it's a large change, so we need to review it carefully, and it's gonna take a bit of time to get everything in. There.
It appears Ludwig approves. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Anything else? If not, we can donate 30 minutes of your valuable time back. And thank you all for joining us today. I move that we close the meeting. And do I have a second? Seconded. Amendment passes. All right. Excellent. Really appreciate you all, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.